Hello, Ninja Gaiden tubers, and welcome back to That's so stupid. Welcome back to Fire Emblem Cerulean Crescent with me, BlueAnkylo. Um, I think there was an old video in the early YouTube era where I can't remember who even did it. Maybe like Angry Video Game Nerd or something, but it's the NES game Ninja Gaiden or Gaiden, depending on how people say it. Anyway, it's a Gaiden chapter, guys. 3x. Irinde's wares are of little interest to a wayward traveler. I wouldn't feed a pig the slop they call food here, so why bother coming here? While savage entertainment, such as arenas, are outlawed in Orasil, it doesn't apply here. Oh boy, arenas. The drink being fantastic goes well with said entertainment. Basil's Guide to the Crescent. That's right. Gonna grind up in the arenas to max level. Make all the money. Just like a proper Game Boy Advance chapter. Fire Emblem chapter. I admit, those extra days aboard the ship have utterly changed my view. I'll risk someone stabbing me when I'm asleep. I just want warm food on board. I think you'll be sorely disappointed, but I love my hometown, but I prefer rations to whatever they cook here. That's absurd. Even if it's some backwater town, anything beats rations. You say backwater town, but Irinde is a major settlement on the Crescent. After returning from the capital cityscape, it seems so unimpressive. That's no surprise. The capital is built on the ruins of more advanced civilizations, like all good D&D cities. Like Waterdeep. Such feats of architecture are simply not possible to replicate today. You sound a little bit like Lindros before he goes on a 30-minute rant about the marvels of civilization technology, of old civilization technology. Yes. I would never be so sadistic. I should stock up on whatever weapons and items we need, since we won't be seeing the town for a while. Maybe every 5 chapters or so. This may be a backwater town, but take a look around while shopping for gear. The crew have something to say, and doing citizen requests will raise our reputation. Yeah. Quests! Hey, something new. Don't forget to sell your hard-earned loot. Yeah, we did that. You don't have to do it in the preps, but sure, it's a bit easier to do it from here. Because you can only deploy Ellery for these Gaiden chapters. So it's probably a good idea to clean up things from here. Although I think most of the time you can access your allies' inventory on the map once you deploy. It's not the end of the world if you don't do this, but probably trying to get an idea of like what to buy and stuff. You might want to take a quick look. It's kind of a pain when you're not in this prep menu to figure out like what do I want. Like Riker should get a javelin at the very least, right? Talon has a javelin, he's okay. Iron Lances are fine. Heal Staff is fine. We've got a Silent Staff. We could probably sell that. But yeah, if we could find like another magic sword that she could use. She still needs C ranks to get wind, I believe. I do have another permanent stat upper. I'm not going to take those this chapter because there's nothing to fight really. Still good on bows. I mean, still pretty early game, so I would be surprised. Oh, quality liquor. That's a sellable. Makes problem goes away, but not an axe to the head. Pretty sure there's an axe that has the description that it makes problems go away. So, we could probably get a better sword for Gecko. She is doing pretty good. And D rank, yeah, there's probably like even just a steel sword might be nice just to get her damage up a bit to finish, killing things. We'll see how much money we have once we're done in here. We do have a wyvern tail for food. Very chewy. I would like to get a hand axe probably for Mints, just to give him a little bit more flexibility. His weapons, like, yeah, axes and bows are kind of an interesting combination. Don't see that too often in Fire Emblem. We got our mage with thunder and fireball. It might be nice to try to get him a wind tome if we can. Makes him a bit speedier. We have a pocket spell. This is technically a magic sword. It's just the weakest of them. So there's no reason not to give that really to either Gecko. She's got like decent magic. Or Raylan, who's actually has more magic than strength. Yeah, it's a 1-2 range sword, so that definitely helps. Even if it's low might. But, magic, I'll give it to somebody for sure. What else do we have? Wind sword we can't use yet. I don't suppose the the man splitter was like, you know, really caused a headache. Yeah, it's not the one that. The item descriptions are great. I love it. All right, the contraption I'll probably give to somebody else too. It's resistance and anti-crits, kind of like those Thracia scrolls, and a few other things that do that. So that's nice. And yeah, it looks like that's it. So we've got a couple javelins, but they don't last super long, and they do break a bit quicker because they only have 20 maximum durability. But yeah, I have 0. I would like maybe 2 hand axes. Probably 2 will be enough for now if I can find them. Maybe another 1 or 2 javelins. And then we'll see how much money we have after that. I definitely like the 1-2 range, although I don't think, again, not to spend a ton of time, you know, rambling, but I don't think they're, like, in some Fire Emblems, especially on the Game Boy Advance, javelins really rule, you know, most of the game. Really, because they're cheap, they're effective, they work at 1-2 range. They're good, but there's just, again, the power scale I think has gone up so much in this hack that as much as they're good, they are not as good as they used to be. So I think it's maybe a bit of an error to overcommit on them, because they do less damage, and a lot of times you just want to one-shot things, right? So even though they have the flexibility of the 1-2 range, it's not necessarily better than just having better stuff. And there are like 2-3 range weapons and stuff that we can probably buy right now if we can get the money for it. One more thing, sorry. I want to double check if there's anything in the convoy that we want to take out to sell. No. Oh, we will probably want some keys, but, you know, Ellery can do that. We've got a couple stat uppers for later. We've got a couple staves we could use or sell if we really hate staves. And the iron blade. 10 weight for big damage. It's a good sword. I'm not sure if anyone's really got the con for it just yet. I mean, it would be a higher damage sword for Gecko, even if it would slow her down. Yeah, I'll probably give it to somebody later, but anyway, let's just get to work. It's just a chatty chapter anyway. So yeah, these are special, well, it's a special non-combat map. We just talk to our friends, do some shopping, pick up some side quests, do some hidden objectives. Honestly, there's a ton of secrets in these, and I doubt I'll be able to find them all, but I will try. And there's definitely something going on with the chickens. Let me just tell you that right ahead. I don't know exactly how to do all the chicken quests. Maybe there's a guide somewhere, but for now, let's just talk to some people, and then we'll see what we're going to buy at the end. These chapters go as long or as short as you'd like, basically. You could skip it all. Hey, what's on your mind? You look more fidgety than usual. Oh, I'm just a bit bored, bloodthirsty, ready to split a man's skull with a frying pan. You've just done that a couple times. No, it's that I've heard some bad things about where we're headed. Oh, it's real bad. There's these massive hulking beasts that can crush your skull, trees that like decorating themselves with human entrails. I think I've heard enough. Ghosts that rip out your soul, human size. Ow. Stop frightening her. Just a bit of harmless fun. Oh, I knew that sounded too ridiculous to be true. Well, sweet heavens. There's no need to fear. Just stick behind me. I can get you to safety. More importantly, you have me and Zieg. Ain't that right, my boy? Zieg's doing all the work. You're nothing off the horse. It's true. This is Miss Noodle Arms talking. Noodle Arms or not, I'm stronger than you. We can find out right here, right now. Posturing in front of Gecko ain't helping you, buddy. Are you accepting my challenge? Hell yeah, I am. I'm gonna pound you to the ground. You're gonna fall off the wharf. Damn it, Ray. Use your eyes. You push me in. I better protect myself. So, funnily enough, you can push people, but not into the water. Well, I mean, you could probably push a flyer into the water, but you can't push someone somewhere they can't normally go. I won't be able to get them back now. but yeah, so while we're doing these, guidance chapters, you get super movement, so you can kind of just zoom around the map, and you only really control Ellery. There's no ending of turns, right? It's just permanent refresh. Now there are, like I said, there's definitely some secrets. So let's just, see what we can find, right? Talk to this guy. There's some quests to pick up too, very important. I'm ruined. Hey there. Want to make a investment of a lifetime? Can't say I'm looking. I can't say it's what I'm looking for. I, Tassel, finest merchant this side of the coast, have encountered misfortune. You're doing a poor job of convincing me of your title. Oh, you wound me. If not for my hirelings, those traitorous scum who stole away with my ships and barrels of goods, I'd be... the offer. I will pay you back with interest. All I need is 2,000 gold for a ship to the mainland. A mere pittance. So you don't have to do these, and there are lots of things to spend your money on, so this does hurt right now. And I don't know if they always pay you back. Like, I don't know if there's trolls here necessarily. Like, I think all of the optional payments do give you something, but whether or not it's worth how much money you spend is a bit of a mystery on your first playthrough. So I'm just going to show them off, even if they might be bad deals, but, you know, he's probably scamming us. I got gold to burn, don't maybe regret it. Oh, you're like a lantern in the darkness. Thank you, friend. You'll be repaid. Yeah, maybe. Just give him a little shove anyway. There's also a chicken in the well. There's a lot of chickens here. Just keep an eye on all these chickens. Alright, children. Gather round. Hiya, miss, with the spear. You're on the boat with the adventurers. Yeah. Mama said you beat up the pirates and slavers all together. Tell us about the fight. Were there hundreds? Thousands? Millions? Maybe not quite that many. I'm tired of the same old story of Ellis beating the gods. I want to hear pirates. Sure, take a seat. It was around mid-morning. One action-packed, tension-filled, dramatic retelling later. And then Tower did a somersault, knocked the pirate into the sea, and saved the day. Yeah, awesome, so cool. Do you have more stories? Stop bothering the poor miss. Lunch is ready. We gotta go. Mom always told us to repay a favor, so here's a shiny rock. We got a child rock. We are the chosen one now. You always know they really care for you when you get their prize rock. It's like an otter. Oh, yeah, it's just a mine. I don't really like these, but you could probably see the tactical value of dropping them in front of you and then enemy charges, gets hit, and loses their turn. You can just use it once, though, so I'll probably just sell it. I need the money. I really do. There's so many things that I need gold for. Don't know if there's any way to get to that archer guy. Like, sometimes you might be able to attack a wall. It doesn't look like it. Get out of here, kid. Get home. Alright, that's fine. Okay, so there's an inn. We can go in the inn later. So let's try to talk to everybody on the map first. There's also some treasure over here. If we can get a way to open the door. Shady fella. I have gold on hand, looking to support local business. Look no further. You look like a man I can trust. Tell me more. I wasn't expecting to get this far. We have a... Oh, sorry, let me check my notes. We deal in interior decorating, palm reading, and we have a potion, potent potion, whose ingredients have been harvested from the furthest reaches of the Crescent, prepared by the most skilled brewers north of Orysil, in the finest alchemical workshops since the Cataclysm, using our own secret recipe passed through our family for 29 generations that was created by Ellis herself. How can it be 29 generations if it's been 3 centuries since Ellis' birth? Never mind, a small fee for important product. Only 2,000 gold, what a deal. It's probably a bad deal, but okay. This is my first successful deal, thank you, kind customer. We just get a coffee. So is it worth it to spend 2,000 gold for a +1 stat upper? Probably not. But, you know, now you know what you'll get. We spent like all of our money on a investment opportunity and a, you know, piece of coffee. One cup of coffee. Cup of joe. Okay, the arena. That's where we'll get our money back. A weight has been lifted now that you've both returned safely. If only you knew how anxious I was when I heard you'd gone after Chalice alone. There's no need to chew him out. I already did that. Maybe this failed escapade will have taught you a lesson. If you're going to take up the mantle of the Ironsmith name, you can't be running off like this. Not likely. I'm just going to leave Irinde and go join an adventuring party. You can't be serious. I was never good enough for the Ironsmith. Not respectful, not reliable, not smart. Ignore the town gossip. Maybe you're too rash, too headstrong. But you shouldn't be ashamed of who you are. Thanks, Chalice. That's it. Here, all I'm seeing is a failed Ironsmith. I didn't realize how stressful this was. Should have known. Talon needs a clear mind to keep him out of trouble. I can fill that role. you'd be willing to accompany me? That's not just about you. I've lived in this town for my entire life. I'm sick of it. Maybe I was wrong. The Ironsmith tradition did you more harm than good. I can't stop you, but please be careful out there. I can't lose another brother. Alright. Chalice, if my brother does anything stupid, beat him over the head until he sees sense. You have my words. So yeah, that's Talon. I don't know if they talk a whole lot about his backstory, but you know, I guess he joined a gang or something. I know. I think it's part of the sect or something. I'm not sure exactly how these people relate. Dune, we'll learn more about later, but head guard of Irinde. Nonsense, but dedication honor. Yeah, I'm sure we'll see them again at some point. What about going to the arena? Due to the multiple accounts of death, dismemberment, and hurt feelings, that's us playing the game, the arena is now permanently closed. All complaints are to be directed towards the business end of my axe. Signed, the chief. Yeah, sorry, I led you guys astray. There's no arena. Sadly, we cannot grind. There is a suspicious fellow over here behind some barrels. A Dread Lich? Huh. To see what I want to do with him. Let's check the shops. I'm not going to buy anything yet. I just want to see what they sell. So we've got iron, steel. We've got a couple weapons we've already seen. There's the anti-horse sword, the anti... oh, I guess Wing Cutter. Oh, there's two. Wing Piercer is the lance. Wing Cutter is the sword. Yeah, okay. So there's the specifically, anti-armor, anti-horse, anti-flying weapons. There are javelins for sale. These are this is where I start really getting excited though. The Reaver weapons are added in. I don't know if they were in some of the Game Boy Advance games. I think they're pretty rare though. Like there's just like one drop in the game, I think, of each type. Or something like that, if I remember correctly. But yeah, these guys are great. They're really good weapons. I mean, okay, this is a sword, a C rank. You do need to be a little bit more skilled, of course, to use it. But, like, just by default stats, 6 weight, 8 might, and 100 accuracy. It's basically just better than it's definitely better than an iron sword. It's probably better than a steel sword 90% of the time. It's what am I saying? It's one less damage, sure, but less weight, so it's similar. Pretty equivalent, I guess. Less uses, but the fact that it reverses the weapon triangle means someone who is sword locked, only using swords, and usually dies to lances, can have one of these in their backpack, switch to it, and then they're having weapon triangle advantage. And we've already talked a lot about how strong weapon triangle is in this hack, and it doubles the effect. So it's effectively when you want to use this, it's plus 6 damage to lances. So it's like a 14 might weapon with 160 accuracy, I think, and a bunch of avoid attached to it. So yeah, those are really, really good, and money. But yeah, those are great. Let's go look at the other shop. I think those were swords and axes, or swords and lances. I expect this will be axes and bows, yeah. Okay, so again, we got iron and steel. The bigger the axe, the bigger the confidence, of course. Sometimes a sword just ain't cutting it. An axe tied to a long stick is a halberd. We got one. Hammer, when everything looks like a nail. It does do a lot of damage, and then triple might against armor. Like, that's 36 power. It's insane. But again, we've got the Reavers, we've got hand axes, iron, steel. Longbows are great as well, the 2-3 range. Not even that bad accuracy. There's our first magic purchasable weapon. Now, my archer, both of my archers have bad magic, so this isn't very good for us right now. Although it is like it's a 1-2 range bow that has a base 10 damage and good hit rate. It's good. But if you have 0 magic, it's not as great. And this is a new thing. I think this is maybe the first completely new item. Well, this is probably new. I guess it's like a flame bow or something. I don't know if those existed in the Game Boy games, but Spellbane I don't think I've seen anywhere else. Maybe one of the DLCs for one of the newer games or something, but definitely not one of the mainline ones. Triple might against any caster. So that's interesting, right? Mage slaying. So, I mean, again, there's a lot of things I'd like. I'm going to have to decide what we're going to buy here in a little bit. There's one more store. This will be staves and things. Yeah, they do have winds. So we've already got the basic thunder. We've got a fireball, which was great. Had a lot of fun with that. We can also get wind. Now, it's pretty weak, and you might notice that it's only range 2. It's not a range 1-2. But the +4 speed does oftentimes make you go from single attack to double attack. So I actually really like how they've designed them. Even just at the very beginning here, these are all E-rank animatones. And you'll see this being the pattern as we get to the higher level ones like Thoron and Baligny and Baloney and Elwind, or whatever the higher tier ones are with higher weapon ranks. But the Thunder ones will always be the 1-2 range. Well, they will generally be the 1-2 range average, like kind of like the classic tomes. Fire is going to be range 1, and they'll have special effects like AoE or super effective. Wind will be range 2, generally with speed or something like that. But that's kind of like a pattern that we'll learn about. There's also some staves, and boy, there are so many staves. I have barely used any of these in my first playthrough. So, of course, the heal staff, of course, easy peasy. Remedy is nice, though. Pretty good number of uses. Like, for value, you know, it's... I mean, half is... a little more than half of that, but it's only a little bit more expensive, and you do get a range 1-4 heal, which is definitely very good. Like, one of the hardest things for pure healers is getting in range of a big scuffle, getting adjacent to somebody when you're trying to kill enemies quickly. So it heals a little bit less, but it has nice range, like pretty solid at 1-4. We've seen the silence. Physic is your classic. Range is your magic stat divided by 2. Now this is totally new, I believe, as well. I don't think I've ever seen one of these before. It does require C-rank staves, but maybe someone like Chalice could get value out of this. Because it does do quite a lot of damage, and it hits, instead of resistance, like most staves, or well, I guess staves generally don't do damage, so that's already weird. But there's no counters, so you attack, and that's it, no counter. And you can't counter with it, so if you have it equipped, you don't get to counter, I don't think. But on your turn, you've got a pretty big smack, and you can't double, you know, it's neat. Ranged weaken is pretty solid, -10 attack is a lot. Preventing enemies from moving is really good. Yeah, so basically the point is there's so much good stuff and so little money. If you look at Chalice, she does have the harm staff, which does do like really good attack, but she can only use that 5 times per battle, and it's definitely magic related. If she had the Skull Smash, and she has C staffs, she could also smack things up close, which might be worth it. I didn't try it on my first playthrough because I didn't have the money to buy stuff like that, and I probably don't again. But I'm curious if I stand here. Oh, okay, green units you can't attack. I was gonna say, like, I could throw a javelin at him or something, maybe, but... okay, is there anything else? I'm gonna save looting for last. I can go to the inn, and I think going up here ends. Yeah, seizing will end the map for sure. Just trying to see if there's any way. I don't know what the deal is with this guy. Perfectly average traveler. They have an interesting choice of headwear. Might be an undead abomination. So he could just be there for fun, but maybe there is a way to interact with him. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna try to be thorough, but I also don't want to spend like hours on here. Let's go to the inn next, because I know there's a lot more people to talk to there. I don't want to spend my money until I know how much I've got for playing around. But yeah, we should be able to get some more quests. Actually, do we have any quests yet? No, we don't have any quests. We did learn a couple more things. I might read these. This is probably a shorter episode, so yeah, I might go through the lore at the end here, actually. That might make sense. To the dancing. A drink, Captain? I don't drink, thanks. How's the dancing? It's acceptable. I used to dance here. Maybe I don't miss this place. But I can fool myself into thinking I do. What changed? Did you feel the call of adventure? Well, that would be a story to tell, but no, I fell head over heels for a dashing young man, and next thing I know, I was out on the first ship with him. So she's definitely a D&D bard for sure. This is certainly romantic. I couldn't have made such a decision myself. Then you're a smarter woman than I am. Ended in tears. Sorry. Compared to possible alternatives, I have little right to complain. I start rambling when I drink. I should leave it to you. Don't forget the supplies. Alright, see you around. Yeah, Ariana. She dances. Might be a little bit of a bard. Can we could shove the girls around a little bit, just to be mean. Let's talk to Old Bob. Good day, adventurer. You too? How do you know I'm an adventurer? Wearing armor all the time, weapons half drawn, faint scent of blood. I've only been doing this for less than a month. You seem to handle yourself well, unlike my fool of a son. Fool of a took. Left to join some mercenaries, when he couldn't tell one end of a sword from another. Maybe it's better to just follow his dreams. Oh, I know my son. He can hardly kill a chicken. Some chickens are dangerous, though. Much less survive a real battle. Would you be willing to do this poor old man a favor? Tell him to come home? And that I'm disinheriting him. Sure, it's an easy task. Alright, go find his son. Yeah, alright, we'll look for him. How do we identify? If you see some lad struggling to lift his sword, it's probably him. He also wears a stupid shiny medallion. Alright, our first quest for Old Bob. Maybe we'll get a brave sword if we succeed. He's actually got pretty good stats. Potato farmer who claims to have been a renowned mercenary, tired of eating potatoes. I mean, that might take a while, but I do like me some potatoes. Alright, so that's quest, and you can keep track of them in the guide now. So, find your son, get him back. He wears a medallion. And these are easily missable. Like, a lot of quests are things you'll probably do anyway, but there's also a lot of quests that are very, very easy to miss, because it doesn't remind you. If you don't keep track of them, you'll just move on by. And I definitely missed a handful when I played through, so I'm going to try to be a bit better while I'm recording. And because I'm talking to you guys, it's actually a bit easier generally. I play a little bit slower, rather than on like super speed, just skipping stuff I'm bored with. One of the reasons I like Let's Playing. Gets a little bit more into it. Tower, can we have a moment? I should lay off the drinking. What is it? It's about the sword. I wish to apologize. I shouldn't have lost my temper. You lost your temper? I thought that was normal. You're still young. I don't think you fully understand what you're dealing with. May I inquire further about your experiences? There is a sense of mysticism attached to these pre-cataclysm artifacts, as if they would solve all our problems. Yet I've lost count of the amount of times they were used for horrendous deeds or backfired spectacularly. There is false hope tied to searching the past for solutions when such effort could be put towards solving the problem. I am not blind to the threat these relics contain, but if utilized properly, the potential is limitless. There's always a limit. He's smart, but he's not that smart. If we could recreate the wonders of architecture and industry from the past era, we could usher in a new golden age. A golden axe. Surely that would be worth it, right? I don't deny that a golden axe would be pretty awesome, but how do you know it will be a just cause? Who are the individuals able to splurge countless gold on these axes? Who are the kinds of people that would dive into danger to retrieve them? Not people who would seek the betterment of humanity, but for power, wealth, or glory. That is why we Occult mages exist. To uphold the ideals of accelerating humanity through rediscovery, where others will not. Don't worry, I went to Candlekeep. I know things. How can you know they will not be tempted by the powers these relics hold? How can you know they won't be tempted? I have faith in Occult and its members, and myself. Do you not have the same faith in your fellow priests? Faith is easily shaken. I pray that your ideals may hold true. But it's not something I put my faith in. I have to think about it. So I just want to mention, having already sort of knowing the story, I don't really want to spoil things in advance, because it's a nice story to play along with. This is actually like a major part of the core conflict of the entire game, is these two. Just the way they interact. So just keep an eye on those in specific. Like, some people, like, again, small rant, or not really rant, but rantulo here. Small takeaway. Like, the stuff going on with Chalice and Talon and stuff, like, that's interesting. The stuff going on with these guys, there's definitely some cool stuff going on. But a lot of the actual main story of the game, pay attention to, Ellery, Oriana, Tower, and Lindros. I'd say these four might be the core of what's really going on. A couple others fit in eventually, but anyway, that's just me. Just Blue giving you something to pay attention to. Johnny Spices, boy, he's got a cool axe. This guy's promoted berserker, a prominent smuggler making some good cash evading spice law. Everyone demands the spice. Reputation stretches the mainland. Terrible conversationalists, but pretty good climbers. What a trade-off. So he's got all these spices. They're worth lots of money. Ooh, boy, just take all that gold. Take all that money off him. He's pretty strong, though. He doesn't have an axe. Luckily, he can't kill us, because he doesn't have an axe right now. Alright, Johnny. I have an urgent request for a well-paid adventurer. Are you willing to hear me out? I have 2 ears. Just got the word that one of my spice runners got hit down the river. I want you to make sure that they make it home in one piece. By pirates? Up this inland? I assume some must have slipped past, as rare as it is. I can offer half the value of the shipment as payment. Are they still alive? How long has it been since they contacted? Just arrived by pigeon post. Hopefully they're still in tunnels near a broken bridge. And that's basically all the hint you get. So pay attention to maps with tunnels and bridges. You won't know what chapter this is necessarily until I show you, if you're playing along in advance. So just be careful. You might miss it. These early ones are not too hard, but they do require a bit of paying attention. You on board to rescue him? Yeah. No promises. All right. So yeah, that's a good money-making quest, I think. Rescue some spice runners. They're in hidden tunnels near the broken bridge. Yeah, I mean, that will be fairly obvious when we see it, I think. But some quests, not super easy to catch. Alright. I just love pushing people around. Yeah. Yeah. Old Bob, you know. Teach him what's what. Oddly enough, the staircase is blocked by, like, barrels. No going upstairs. Gotta pay first. Hey, fresh mercenaries. Just what I need. Actually, we're mercenaries, adventurers, same damn thing. Do you want to earn some easy gold or not? Tell me more. Take this torch to the temple down the river. It's near the bend. You can't miss it. I totally missed it when I played. This is the first quest I failed. That's it. That's it. I'll pay 1,000 gold right here, right now. There's a song about that, I think. Sure, easiest 1,000 bucks I've ever earned. I am very pleased to hear you have such courage. Some backwater superstitious nonsense. 1,000 gold? And the Fire Emblem? Could it be? It's on fire and emblematic of society or something? Yeah, it's actually really good early on. So, it's another passive item that just gives you some stat bonuses. No crits and a little bonus to your strength and magic. Just gonna make some inventory space here. Yeah, that's a Fire Emblem. So someone has to carry the Fire Emblem to this temple and not forget about it. So that's your job, chat. There's no live streaming today, but just try to remember. All right, now if you're paying really close attention, and not impossible, but there's a little hint going on. You know how this symbol here kind of means you can like exit the map? There's actually another one somewhere on this map, hidden. Maybe you've seen it now that I've called it out, but if you saw it in advance, 1 BlueAnkylo point for you. You damn traveler sticking your noses into whatever. No more! You have to get through me! You can't attack them. What could we possibly do? I thought this was so cool. The first time I figured it out. Like, what? You just move them around to find more stuff? Yep. We're going to the secret room. Some of our friends already made it down here, but... This is a nice little place. Oh, you got in. They usually only let locals in. I didn't know you were from the Crescent. I traveled to the mainland on a whim. You don't want to hear my life story. Maybe I do. Anyway, since the arena got shut down by the chief, things have moved here. Oh, what's this obsession with blood sports? It's what happens when you have a bunch of crazy adventurers in one place. The tavern owners make a killing out of this, so blame them. Again, if you've played D&D, how many times have your party, ended up having some sort of arena match or duel in a tavern or in towns because they're bored and they want to, arm wrestle or murder each other? Pretty common, right? Anyway, I suppose a business venture is a business venture. Hey, look at that. Yvette's up. Want to bet 1,000 bucks on her? Oh, yes, but I'm going to cheat because I think the outcome is randomized and I really need the money, so I'm just going to save state. Ah, we lose. So that's 1,000 gold just gone if you do that. And that's it. You only get to try it once. The music changed, though. Was it worth it? 1,000 bucks to play some new music? Let's see if Bird wins. I don't think she'll care, but I'll take a little bit of money. It's really not much, but I really do need some money, so. I'm pretty sure it's random, because I think the last time I came here, Yvette won, and I bet on her. And I might have even got 2,000 gold instead of 1,500 gold. It's like a positive 1,000, but anyway. Sorry, Yvette. You should have been able to beat Big Bird. He can't do anything. Didn't even have a weapon. He does, like, regenerate or something, yeah. Anyway, let's go talk to her. I don't... Oh, you can't talk to her either. I wonder if I could, like, you know, push people out of position or something, and that would be way too much programming and scripting. It'd be cool if you could, like, change who would fight based on who's standing up there. Like, push people up there, and then they'd have a little battle. Anyway, I think that's it for those two. I don't see anything else over here. No secrets. But there is someone over here secreting. So, you found your way down here. You won't find these prices elsewhere. As in, literally, you won't. They're stuff you won't find at your local store. Alright, Anna's secret shop. Hooray! Just like every Fire Emblem after these ones. Actually, she's been in from even the early games. Remember I said I wanted lots of money? You can just buy these for everybody. Now, you could buy them anytime, like later on in the game. But you get the most value out of them if you give everybody you want to use +5 to all their growths at the very beginning. So I'm really thinking about buying 4 or 5 of those. And then just skipping all the other cool stuff. Because we'll be able to buy this stuff later, trust me. I mean, more magic swords. There's your bolt sword, there's your wind sword, there's your flame sword, there's your brave sort of sword. It's a bit weaker than a normal brave sword, but it's still pretty good. You got a lance with resistance, we got an axe with defense, we got a really good bow, I mean, maybe great even. I mean, it's actually pretty strong. We've got an upgraded wind tome that's brave and gives you defense. Like, yes. How would you not get here and be like, I want it all, I must buy everything? I'm definitely gonna, this is barely worth selling, but I'm gonna sell this mine. If I can get 100 gold more, I think I can buy another wine. Let's put stuff away for a second. I can, what could we sell? I mean, I didn't need to buy the coffee. That would have been worth 2 grand more. There's not much left to sell. I mean, I could sell a vulnerary, but I can't remember how much they're worth. It's a bit dangerous to get rid of all your vulneraries. I could sell the iron blade. It's not that special. I mean, you only get half price for selling things, so don't sell things if you're going to buy them later, generally, right? I mean, this gets me far enough. I think if I just sell the one... That might be fine. 2, 3, 4... I mean, I don't know if this is actually anything... Like, it's probably not really optimal, but, there's a lot of people that we're going to have to use in this game, you know, no matter what you do. And, having an extra 5% growth for the next, like, 20, 30 levels... Like, I guess, to be fair, think about it like this, right? If you use it at a low level, like, let's optimally give it to someone at level 1, right? How many level ups are they going to get in the course of the game? Depends on the game. In this game, the level cap is 30, doesn't get reset when you promote. So, if you use them a ton, the maximum would be 29 level ups from level 1 to level 30. Probably hit the low to mid 20s if you keep using them no matter what. So 20 to 30 level ups. 5% growth means every stat gets on average 1 extra point per 20 levels. So if you got 20 level ups, which I think is easy, it's probably +1 to all stats by the end of the game, on average. If you get 29 level ups, it's like 1.5 to all stats. Is that worth it? I don't know, but I think it makes characters more reliable, and it's just more likely you'll get those stat ups early on when they're really valuable. It's certainly not a guarantee. You could buy a stat up and just give yourself +1 speed today. I think you can buy some stat ups or stuff like that. Or just a better weapon will make you kill stuff better right now. But weapons break, and you can only carry so many. This is like a passive bonus. And I like passive growth, so... I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if this is really smart. But if you're going to invest in the growth, you should probably invest early on. Because later on, you have less time to get your money back. Or get your value out of it. So, that's my argument. If you're playing along, You do whatever you want. If you want to buy a bunch of flame swords and other cool stuff, I mean, that'll help you out too. That'll probably make the next couple chapters a lot easier. Alright, I think that's everybody here. We got our quests. We gotta take a torch to a temple. It's free money. And, yeah, that'll be good. But there is some more stuff to do. Don't worry, we're not quite done yet. Yeah, we're gonna go rob the place. I saved it for last for no specific reason, but we will need a key to open it. So let's put these away. We don't need that yet. I'll do some preps next chapter, figure out who's taking what. But conveniently, we do have a couple skeleton keys. One that's almost broken, one that's fine. So we'll bring those with us. Oi, get back here! What? I don't remember that happening before. What was that? It's like a guard? I mean, I need to go talk to the chickens, but... Boy, get back here. It looked like some sort of guard, not one of my units, right? Don't want to shove someone somewhere you can't get them back in case I want to. I think when you leave the map and then come back, it resets the positions of everybody. Yeah, because these guys weren't there. Boy, get back here. Huh. Back to the inn? I don't know what that was. I guess he moved. Maybe he was mad. Maybe that's it. Maybe that was just supposed to be an event that happens when you end turn. But I never ended turn. Like, you know, I just zoomed out and left. That's probably all it was. Was that his image? Maybe. Alright, anyway, interesting. There's scripting is tough. You know, the fact that... To be fair, if there's bugs or things that don't work quite perfectly, I'm really not trying to rip on the mod or the hack. It's very impressive what they've managed to pull off for scripting for a game that doesn't really have anything like this in the default game. Anyway, we'll just do some robbing. It's fine. Ooh, that'll be worth, like, thousands of gold. What am I doing? I've sunk quite low, but not to the point of robbing some rural town. I'm putting it back. No! My uncut gems! So... Somehow it duplicated my key. That's odd. No, it wasted all of the uses of this key. This key was 3 out of 5. There's something weird with keys. I don't know... Because there's different... I feel like we got ripped off, because I think I had a 3 or 5 out of 5 uses and a 1 out of 1 use. Somehow it used all of them. Oh, whatever. It's fine, but... It's kind of annoying, whatever that was. But we did get the luck bonus, so at the very least our luck went up a little bit, which is nice. You know? It used the 1 out of 5 key. Maybe my key was at 3 out of 5, and it just defaulted to using that one to open the chest. Or no, sorry. It would have been 3 out of 5, open the door 2 out of 5, open the chest 1 out of 5. But then it refunded it, I guess. But it made a new key rather than adding back. So maybe that's kind of how these are. These are like refunded keys rather than... Because it can't refresh durability. Maybe they couldn't program it to add 1 to the durability. So they just give you a fresh one that's 1 out of 1 or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk to some chickens. I've been promised that there's some chicken quests. Wait, what's happening? An eye for an eye. Is this not what you want? Yeah, that is what I... Then it is done. Ah! My eye. Huh. What was I doing here? I think I had something to do. She's fine. Don't worry about it. She's got an eye. Price paid for mobility. Don't worry about it. Just made a deal with the chickens. Now, she doesn't have to hold it. Someone else can take it. It's fine. There's other people that could use plus mobility, even if she doesn't need it. Weird. Well, I think that's it. We'll talk more about what that means later on, but something's going on with Ellery for sure. The chickens, man. Watch them chickens. Birds, I told you guys, this is a classic BlueAnkylo channel thing. You can't trust the birds. They're always up to no good. Just run into some chickens and Suddenly, bam, they pull your eye out. Plucker. Alright, unless I want to shop some more... I mean, I don't have any money. I'd have to sell more stuff. I don't think it's worth it. I was really thinking about getting hand axes and javelins, but what I'll end up doing is next episode in the preps, I'll just make sure everyone's... I'll use up all that aged wine. I think we've got a fair number. Yeah, that's 4 more. I can definitely give those to some people who can get a little bit of a bonus early on. And for Ellery, I mean, I can kind of clean up her inventory a little bit here. She needs her custom stuff, and then she can also heal, so might as well. But like, it doesn't really matter for her, because she can access the convoy anytime. So you could really just have one weapon and all the passives, and then just anytime you want to switch weapons, you just go to the convoy, basically, and it would be fine. But that's a pain. I don't like it. It's too much hassle. Anyway, let's get out of here. Let's finish this chapter. Oh, wait, hold on. 45 minutes in, we're almost done already, so it's a little bit quicker episode. Good time to do a little bit of lore while we've got access to it. Let's learn about Irinde. Originally settled by a gang of wealthy adventurers, Irinde happened to be situated near great veins of metal and gems. Currently, it is the largest industrial settlement on the Crescent, their workshops almost rivaling cities on the mainland. They are most well known for shipwrights, critical for the coast's people. The current chief, Orin, dissatisfied with trade being restricted by the monopoly of the guild, appears to be taking action. You'll probably meet him in a second. Coast Lords. The Crescent is populated by many small factions bickering over land and resources. They are mostly offshoots of the mainland factions, refugees, or opportunists looking to make their fortune. 15 years ago, after years of battle between coastal powers, the strongest towns signed a pact of peace to bring temporary order to the Crescent. Alright. And we're all caught up. Nothing about weird chickens in the lore, unfortunately, for... Go check this chicken. No, doesn't seem to do anything. Seems like the chickens are just watching us. Their beady little eyes, and their clucks, and their pecks. As both chief of Irinde and a friend of those you saved, you have my gratitude. I think nothing of it. Anyone with a smidgen of honor would have done the same. I'm sure there's quite a few that will have... Actually, he really doesn't have a noble voice. I know this guy a little bit. His weapon is a piece of wood, literally a tree trunk. I'm sure there's quite a few that would have charged me their weight in gold. I'm surprised someone as young as you got Tower under your command. He's a bit of a local legend. He may be skilled, but I have some potent power on my own. The necessary gold. I'm actually very broke, but apparently she's got a secret stash somewhere. Truly the most mighty magic of all, gold power. Perhaps I can repay you in some way. Word on the street is that you're heading for the infamous workshop. Yeah, was it so obvious? A word of warning. There's been some bad tidings upstream. Last year, some horrifying beasts not seen before flattened Rat Creek settlement. More adventurers are going missing this way recently, and the woods are restless. You've chosen a poor time. Thanks for the warning, though I don't believe the mere threat of danger will deter us. Well, as expected, you wouldn't be adventurers otherwise. Now, your reward. Warp Staff? Teleport allies around the map, hopefully not to a faster death. Yeah, so they give you one of these super early. I actually don't like warps. It's a little blasphemous in the Fire Emblem world, I suppose. The fact that these exist, I hate it. I hate enemies with warp staffs. I hate player strategies that involve using warp staffs to avoid entire chat. Like, it's the first time you do it where you skip a whole chapter by warping around is fun. But then some games or some speedruns or something, it becomes just the default skip everything. I don't know. I actually think the fact that these exist suck. I like the rescue staff, but teleporting other people anywhere to just skip the entire chapter and all the mechanics, I actually don't like it very much. Now, I will say it's very powerful, and there are probably some times... There's at least one time in this game that I think you kind of need this just to get some extra items. It's not mandatory, but... There are some areas on some maps that you probably can't get to normally, and this would be the only way. So I'm definitely not going to sell it. I'm going to try to show off, places where it can help out. But, I'm just saying, as a quick rant, I actually don't like warp staffs. It's a design decision I wish didn't happen in Fire Emblem, even though they're cool. Don't tell my wife. If she knew I had just handed one out, she'd flay me. Alive, even. I didn't know there was any of these left. I cannot possibly decline. Then it's settled. Let's shake on it and call it a day. Ouch. And you, young captain, if you survive this journey, perhaps we could speak further about possible partnerships. That is some value. Chief Orin's generosity is astounding. That's good and all, but I'm more concerned with how our destination became common knowledge. Adventurers to the smell of gold are like sharks to blood. Because some of your old crew have talked after the failed initial expedition? It seems extremely unlikely since we banded on such short notice and were barely set foot on the Crescent. There's very few of the old crew left. Regardless, we shouldn't stay for long. There will be eyes on us. I suppose I should get used to the feel of constant danger. We leave by morning. Captain, what happened to your eye? What? My eye is fine. What happened to your eye? What do you mean? Where is it? Why is there nothing there? Why are the only one who asked? It can't be. Did you make a deal with it? What are you talking about? I don't remember. What? There was some? You must have made an exchange and paid the price. Exchange? I didn't agree to anything. It just knows. I don't understand it either. What was given goes unnoticed to others. No, it can't be true. That's absurd. Something like that cannot exist. Captain! What? You were staring off into space. Yeah, I just lost my train of thought. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Okay, pay really close attention to that if you want to learn the secrets that the game hints at. Apparently, there's some force that makes deals, takes an eyeball. There's definitely a lot of character portraits with missing eyes. I'm just saying, we've only seen a few, but there's a lot of people that don't have eyes. Or at least one or both even. And it seems to have something to do with your ability to remember. Not everyone else even notices that you've lost an eye, and you seem to lose track of your memories. And yeah, there's some weird stuff going on, let's just say, without giving it all away. But there's definitely more to it than that. So, more things to keep an eye on as we play through the game. But that's all for today's episode. A little bit short, little catch-up episode. We'll do a little bit of preps next time and head off to Chapter 4. So thanks for watching, folks. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.